immediately start because kind of got to just get in the mode a little bit.
Okay.
So, but we are recording.
We back again.
All right, now I can't be clanging and banging them Jones on the table.
Okay.
All right, welcome to a very special edition of Heart2Heart, presented by the Keyword Is podcast. Today I have a very special guest. I have my wife, Jmarie, Jmarie, a lot of different aliases. But like I said, very special guest, very highly anticipated interview. Been trying to get this done for a while. You know, just had to find the right time.
Yeah.
But glad we're finally here. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Feeling pretty good? Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Feeling good.
Definitely excited to get this interview going. So I just got a couple questions for you. I guess I'll just dive right into it.
Run it.
So first, what were your plans in life and how do they compare to what you've done up to this point?
So my plans in life were to basically, you know, of course, graduate high school, go to college. When I was in college, I was a Spanish major, so I anticipated studying abroad, becoming an interpreter, living abroad also for a little bit, coming back to interpret. And of course, like that did not happen. Got into a little bit of trouble in school, didn't really finish, which I'm working on now, but in a whole nother field, whole nother lane. So I'm not where I thought I would be, but I'm slowly getting to where I need to be. Of course, life took a couple turns and, you know, just trying to navigate, get back to where I should be or where I want to be for real.
Yeah, for sure. That's interesting because today I was recording my podcast and I talked a little bit about taking detours in life. And, you know, what I said on there was basically you have a goal that you're trying to reach and the different routes that you take, it's not necessarily mean you're on the wrong track. You're just taking a detour.
Right.
You know, as long as the end goal is still the same, it's like you're doing what you got to do to make it there, but you might have took a different course for whatever different reason.
Right.
So you said that you was a Spanish major. What made you interested in that?
Well, you know, I'll tell the people, but going to Sugar Creek Charter School, Senora Reese, she, that was my favorite teacher.
Shout out Senora Reese.
Yeah, shout out to you, girl. But I did really well in her class, like all the time. I was really engaged, and just learning about her and her personality and how she approached us and how she taught us just really inspired me to want to talk to people. Because what I noticed is that, like, not just Spanish, Spanish was my major, but I wanted to learn other languages, Mandarin, Arabic, all of that, because I like to talk. I like to get to know people. I like to get to know their backstories, and it's hard to talk to people when you have that language barrier. So, you know, just want to get out there and figure out what's going on outside of the U.S., you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, she inspired me. And then into high school, Senor McQuilkin. I just did really well. Like I took AP Spanish classes in high school. So by the time I graduated and actually got to college, I was technically already in my major and a junior in those classes. So.
Okay. That's what's up. So moving on to my next question. You have the ability to do a lot of different like DIY things and arts and crafts, things like that. What made you interested in that kind of stuff?
So, you know, I'm not artsy, so to speak, but I do feel like if there's anything that I want and I don't have the money to get it, I'm just gonna try to create it myself. For instance, doing balloon arches, you know, getting our babies' parties together. You know, I hold that down with my candles and things. Just want to do something for myself. Like, I don't feel like anything is impossible And, you know, if you, like I said, if you don't got the money for it, get on TikTok, get on Pinterest, and trust me, there's DIY.
All right, so moving along, on to us.
Dun, dun,
dun. When did you see a shift in us as a couple? If you want to give some backstory,
yeah,
you know, we haven't been on the best of terms. We haven't been having the best of times as of late. And
they know it all went down.
Possibly, you know, not everybody.
Not everybody, but if you know, you know.
Yeah, you know, we've had some tough times, as most marriages, but it's been a little more rocky than we would have anticipated at this point.
Right.
So yeah, when did you see a shift in our relationship?
Definitely when we started to have children and just adding people, like little humans, into our lives. That definitely shifted our relationship, because the goal was no longer focusing on, you know, us and what makes us happy. It was, okay, we got to take care of these kids. We got to make sure these kids are happy. So just adding them to the picture definitely caused things to be a bit rocky for us, trying to, because we for those who don't know, like, we started dating, got pregnant, and, you know, all of that in a
bang,
9 months, okay?
Yeah.
So it was very fast. We were still in the dating stage and still trying to get to know each other. So in the midst of all of that, we're trying to get to know these kids too. Like,
yeah.
So that's when things took a bit of a shift for us. Like, it was not just us anymore.
Yeah.
And then very quickly went from a family of 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I probably agree to that. You know, bringing kids into the world together and trying to still figure out, like,
navigate.
You know, like figure us out.
Yeah.
While also raising kids.
Yeah.
And they don't understand, you know, relationships and what we got going on. They just doing their thing.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to keep them on track and also try to grow together.
Right.
And that's tough, you know.
Yeah, they definitely know. Like, when we into it, our kids is like, what y'all got going on?
Yeah.
So
those are the times when I feel a bit guilty, because you know, if it's throwing off their home,
yeah,
you know, because they at home with us, and if me and you are avoiding each other, or if me and you are talking harder at each other than they're used to mommy and daddy doing,
right,
it makes things a bit tense in the house. And it's like, that's not fair to them, especially as young as they are, to have to kind of figure that out.
Right. So. Right. Because no matter how hard we try to fight it, it's like, they always know. I know we always made it a point to say, you know, we ain't gonna do this in front of our kids, but, you know, we human, and things blow up, things happen. You know, we react impulsively, and, you know, we kind of forget sometimes that they're in the room, that we need to present ourselves in a certain way. So,
and I mean, even if it's not a blow up, they can feel the difference in just us walking around.
Yeah, we
that's
just
the whole
passing
thing.
by each other, not trying to touch, and it get crazy.
It makes it it makes it way different in the house than they're used to. Okay, so we've both expressed feeling disregarded by the other. Do you think that's deeper than just like me and you?
Yeah, definitely for me, it's deeper. Based on my upbringings and previous relationships, also, like, you know, anything that I've experienced definitely plays a part in my everyday decision making, conversation, just my everyday experiences as well. As a child, I felt disregarded a lot by both parents. I would say my mom being a young mom, I don't know if that's why, but you know, we didn't really talk. I was not asked like, how was my day? I didn't get to sit down and like talk to my mom. She kind of felt like she just didn't want to be bothered with us, and you know, she'd get off work, go in her room, shut the door. I'm like, okay, whatever. I had a rough day at school, but I'm gonna keep that with me, or I'm gonna write it down. And then with my dad, you know, got hella kids, so it was hard to really get that one-on-one time with him a lot. And he didn't live in the house with me or in the same state, so it was hard to get that one-on-one time or really talk to him or any of my sisters on my dad's side about anything that I may have been going through. So with how that affected, I guess, us or me in our marriage and our relationship is like, okay, if you don't come ask me things, you know, I kind of feel disregarded, because it's like, okay, you don't want to be bothered. It just takes you back to like that childhood memory of like, you know, feeling like nobody may not care about you. So yeah, I would say that. What about you?
I'd say that, yes, it's deeper than me and you, but mine is kind of on the other side of things. So like, basically, I feel like there was a whole lot of like, you know, asking how was my day, or like, you know, just trying to see how I'm feeling, to the point where it became like the flow of conversation. So I know a lot of times, you know, we would have issues, and, you know, you'd be telling me basically, you know, you want me to check on your mental, and, you know, you want me to ask how your day is going, things like that. And in my defensive mode, I say, well, if we just talk, it's gonna come around to me asking you how's it going, and, you know, things like that. So I guess, like, you know, the different styles of trying to see how you're feeling didn't necessarily work for you, because it comes across as like, you know, I don't care.
Yeah, don't ask, don't tell type.
Yeah, and it's like, but based on my experiences, that kind of conversation always came in the flow of whatever else I'm saying. I might start off with, you know, I don't know, something that I saw online. Yeah. Just something shallow. Yeah. And then somewhere in there, it comes into something deeper. Yeah. But, you know, the two different styles of checking up on each other weren't meshing well. Yeah. I'll say. Yeah. So yeah, I think, and as far as past relationships, I mean, I've always been pretty open in my thoughts in past relationships. You know, I've always said exactly what I'm thinking for the most part. And, you know, I guess if it gets to a point, like how I was saying, it gets to a point where I'm feeling like I can't necessarily say what I'm thinking for whatever reason, then that kind of make it a little difficult as well. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's how my past kind of affects that part of our relationship.
Yeah, yeah. I've always as far as in a relationship, I've always been the type to just share and sometimes overshare. But I think, you know, with that, like you said, it would usually like come in the flow of conversation. But there were times where, you know, I was feeling like, I don't want to share today. I want to be asked, like, because you can just freely share your thoughts and give your opinion, but do people actually care? I felt like if you cared, you would ask. So there was one point in time where, you know, I just stopped sharing just to see if you would ask, you know, and when you didn't, that started to become, you know, that started to have issues. Yeah. We had to start to have our issues. It's like, okay, maybe you don't care. We just talking. So yeah, I'm clinging like.
Nah, I told you. All right. Well, moving on to motherhood. What would you say up to this point has been your proudest moment as a mother, and what has been your toughest moment or toughest time as a mom?
Okay. My proudest moment was just having my babies, like bringing them into this crazy world. You know, that's life changing. It's magical. I can't tell you anything. I literally could, but I don't think about what my life was like before my kids, because they were such a huge impact on me. And just, you know, I became a woman when I had my kids, and seeing them wake up and talking and walking and cash crawling around here and just learning new things are always like my proudest moments. Even when they're just bouncing off the walls, just like, okay, whatever. I'm happy, they healthy. Like, you know, love my babies.
Yeah, definitely. So, and what about your toughest moment or toughest time?
My toughest time has been with dealing with postpartum and just not feeling really motivated and feeling overwhelmed as well. Being a mom, I'm just going to speak on being a mom because I don't know what it's like to be a dad. So I can only assume just being a parent anyway is hard, but being a mom, you feel like you have so much on your plate. You have to do so much. You got to get up, take care of the house, cook, clean, you know, talk to your kids, spend time with them. So the hardest part has been adjusting. And you know, people always say, you know, as far as postpartum, oh, you know, just got to get up and take care of your child, but you forget to take care of yourself. So that has been the hardest part for me, has been really taking care of Jay, like, you know, mentally, physically. I just got my nails done for the first time in 10 months, y'all. Feet ain't been done. So I'm really just trying to get back to me, and talking to my therapist has really been helping me get back to kind of reinventing Jay, you know, where I want to be. So, but yeah, definitely postpartum has been the toughest time about being a mom. Like being a mom, I got that in the bag. Getting over the postpartum depression is crazy. So I do encourage y'all, if y'all are battling with postpartum depression, you know, seek professional help, see a therapist, for real. And they offer them, look in your county, wherever you are, they offer them. Sometimes they're free, low cost, whatever. Do what you got to do to take care of your mental.
You know, my last interview that I did with my cousin, she was also promoting like therapy and, you know, some kind of, you know, counseling or something like that. And it's just interesting because I've always thought, like, you know, I should probably go to therapy, but I try, like I said in that one, I do what I call self-therapy, and that's not necessarily, you know, but it's just, you know, I haven't taken that leap yet.
Yeah, I talked to you about that, like going, I think just a couple weeks ago, I said, I think you should really, you know, talk to somebody. You ain't got to be out here depressed, ready to jump off a ledge or any of that to go see a therapist. It's just nice to really be able to vent, have somebody to talk to you who's not family, who's not a friend, who's just, you know, gonna give you some real deal, pick your brain, give you little assignments, just things to better yourself. Like, and it's worth it. Like, that's probably been my best. That's my favorite. That's the best thing I could ever invested in, for real.
For sure, definitely.
What has been your sorry to jump in? What's been your proudest moment as a dad?
My proudest moment, I probably have to group it up into seeing my kids pick up on my humor and wittiness.
Yeah,
that's probably my proudest moment, because once I say something to them and they laugh for real and they get it and they shoot me one back,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, we here.
Yeah.
Like it's we here now. They get it.
Yeah.
Like that's when I'm like, okay, cool. When they know how to make me laugh, that's when I realize, oh, okay, yeah,
we here now.
Yeah, we made it. That's
Nigga, we made it.
Yeah. And I guess my toughest is just my toughest kind of runs into what's always been tough in my life, which is managing my time. And I guess just adding kids to the mix of me moving at 1,000 miles an hour is kind of just the toughest part, because I never want to be, because my kids are aware that I work a lot.
Yeah.
They're aware that, like, at this point, they kind of just accept work.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if I'm like trying to leave out the house and they kind of pulling at me, or no, don't leave, and I say like, okay, I gotta go to work. They kind of just accept that now, because they know, like, oh, that's a part
what we
of it.
do.
Yeah. But you know, leaving out in the middle of hanging out gets tough.
Yeah.
You know, but I just try to take advantage of the time I have. That's the only way I can kind of look at it. You know, the times that I am home, I try to make sure that we are hanging out, quality time.
Yeah.
You know,
not just everybody separated and
I try to, you know, get us together. If we outside, if we're playing the game, or, you know, even if it's just watching TV together, I try to make it to where we're all together, because usually I have something else to do next.
Yeah.
So it's like I try to just take advantage of the time.
That's
but yeah,
my favorite thing.
That gets tough.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably the toughest times. So my last question for you, with all that you have accomplished to this point, kind of related to the first question, what are your goals for yourself moving forward?
Well, I've talked to you a little bit about my goals moving forward. I'm still in school. Well, let me stop telling stories. I took a break from school because I've been, you know, going to school since I had KK, and just needed a real reset. I wasn't happy with the major that I chose, which was business administration. Aside from me wanting to be an interpreter, I also always wanted to be a dentist. So right now I am working on going to dental school. Let me say that's in the works. He took me to my orientation, so I'm really excited about that. I don't want this to be one of those projects where I start and I just, you know, kind of stop because something goes on in my life. So I'm looking forward to that. Starting dental school at the end of the year.
Congrats.
Thank you. So, you know, it's a lot of benefits with that. I'll be happy in that career. It's something that I've always wanted to do. And as far as time management, I know you just spoke a lot about when having to leave out, and basically you're getting like dad guilt, like you're in the midst of, you know, spending time with your kids and have to leave for work. But my schedule now, I don't get off work until 7 o'clock. By the time it's like get off, cook, you know, get the kids a bath, go to bed. I don't get a lot of quality time with them like I would. So with me being into like the dental field, it'll help with my schedule, you know, getting off by 5, maybe 6, and having a lot more time to spend with you and the kids. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And again, congrats on that. I know you've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah.
So it's good that you know, went ahead and took that leap.
Yeah.
And decided to go ahead and enroll in that.
Yeah. And stop overthinking. That's one of my biggest downfalls. Like, I overthink and will talk myself right on out of a good thing. So
yeah, I think that's a common thing, you know, kind of just something that people do is they get into a routine and it's a safe routine. And you kind of just stick with it. That's how some people end up at a job for 30 years, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're comfortable. Life is not terrible. Life is cool. You kind of just stick with it.
Coasting though.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah. It's not a exciting way to live, but it's a common thing, really.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got for you. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
I think this was a good interview.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I got some insight.
That we finally did it. I mean, we only live together, so but it gets crazy. I don't know if y'all can see this sign. They say they call it chaos. We call it family. It get chaotic. So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's all I got.
That's all you got.